Hello everybody, my name is Diamond and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is not my first video, however this is my first time posting in a very long time, and I've never done a video like this, so this is like completely out of my comfort zone, but I feel led to share my story. So yeah, today I want to talk about how God told me to move to Dallas. Now, I have recorded this video or started on this video like 3 or 4 times, and for some reason I just keep going the long route because there are so many small details that I want to share with y'all. But I'm just gonna have to break the video down into like 3 or 4 parts until I can get everything out, and that's just what it is. I'm gonna try to give y'all the shorter version of the story, but it's really just a lot of details, and I'm hoping that this video can help you if you have been thinking about relocating and you just need a sign from God, or you want to know like how does he speak to you and tell you whether to move or not, because relocating it's a big deal. It's major, and it's not nothing that you just want to jump out there and do in your own will. Okay, so hopefully when I share my story, it'll bless somebody, and I'm hoping that it'll just give you the courage to, just seek God and just ask him if it's a go or not. Okay, so all right, so I'm just gonna start at the point. Let me see. I'm gonna start, I would say, around, my daughter was probably like 3 or 4 months. All right, so she was like 3 or 4 months old, and I'm gonna give y'all a little of the backstory. Okay, so in 2019, when I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, I stopped working. I stopped physically working. I'm a hairstylist by trade, so I stopped physically working. I pretty much spent most of my pregnancy like at home resting, just kind of doing what I wanted to do and preparing for her arrival. So that's what I did, and I actually stayed at home up until she was about 5 months, and then I went back to work as a hairstylist. Okay, so that's just an important piece, and I'll tell you why later on. Okay, so my daughter was about 3 months, and I noticed that I was going through postpartum depression. Okay, she was born in June 2020. We all know that the pandemic hit in like March 2020. So not only was I dealing with the whole COVID situation, I was also dealing with postpartum, which was something very new for me, of course, because that's, Dakota's my first and only child. So that was very, very new for me. But during that time of just being at home and pretty much being depressed, that's probably like the closest that I got with God, if that makes sense. Like, it was really just me, my child, and God, because all of my family lived out of town. They would come and help me when they could, but it was pretty much just us. So I did a lot of really just praying and just trying to figure out what was next for us, because there was a new chapter. Having a kid is just it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So she was about 3 months, and I started feeling the urge to move, like to do something different, to move. I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to go to, I'm like, all right, I don't know if I'm supposed to go to where my family is at. I have family in Memphis. My dad lives in Memphis. He's been trying to get me to come to Memphis for years now. I'm like, I don't know if I should go to Memphis or if I should like try to move to Dallas, where my best friend is at. My best friend lives here in Dallas, and she's been here for like 5 years. She's been trying to get me here for 5 years, but it was never the right time. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna fast. I had been feeling led to do a fast. So I can't remember if it was like a 24-hour fast or like a 3-day fast. I can't remember, but I know that during that fast, God told me that he was going to do a new thing, okay? I didn't know what the new thing looked like. I didn't know what it was. So I was like, all right, well, since I'm feeling the urge to do something, let me just pack my bags and go somewhere. So I packed my bags, packed my baby up, and we went and we stayed in Memphis for 2 weeks, okay? So I said a prayer. I was like, God, if I'm supposed to move to Memphis, then show me the signs. Like, I want to know that I'm supposed to be here. So I'm going there, you know, like with an open heart. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe I am supposed to be here. And nope, didn't show me nothing. And I just knew that that's not where I wasn't supposed to be there. Even though my family is there and I know that they would have done anything to help me. I just knew that in my heart I wasn't supposed to be there, okay? So I came back home and I started feeling like I needed to go back to work, okay? So, well, of course you guys will know this, but I am a licensed cosmetologist by trade. I've been doing hair since I was probably really 5 for real. I was young when I started. So, I started feeling like I need to go back to work. So I went back to work and put my child in daycare. And I was still feeling like, you know, this is cool. I'm happy to be back to work. I'm happy to be around people, like out the house. But I'm still feeling like something is supposed to be happening, like something major. So I just kept praying about it. I was like, Lord, like, why do I feel like this? Like, I kind of feel stuck. I feel stagnant. And my mom came to visit one weekend. I can't remember exactly what month it was, but she came to visit, and I was telling her that I was just kind of tired of the day-to-day routine and that I needed something different. She was like, well, Diamond, you've been doing the same thing for X amount of time. My friend took this hair extension class. Why don't you try to do hair extensions and, you know, just switch it up? And I was like, okay, you know, maybe I should try something different. But the only reason I took it into consideration was because I already had a close friend of mine. She had already suggested that I take a hair extension class. She was like, you should do this, like, you know, you can help me with these clients. You know, I'm about to move. You can have these clients when I leave. Da, da, da. And I'm like, you know, I was thinking in my head, like, that's too tedious. I don't really want to do hair extensions. That's too tedious. I honestly and truly, if I could be transparent, I didn't think that I could do them. I was like, I'm so used to doing, like, the normal, you know, the normal stuff. Like, I'm like, this is way out of my comfort zone. Like, I didn't think I could do it. So my mom convinced me to take the class. All right, so went to the website, signed up for the class. I noticed that they hosted classes in different cities, but I also noticed that Dallas, Texas was one of the places that they hosted the class. Okay, so of course, you know, I call my best friend because she's a hairstylist as well, and me, her, and our other friend, we all take the class together. Okay, so it was either April or May 2021 when I came to Dallas the first time to take the class, all right? So this is when it started getting real, y'all, okay? Stay with me. So before I came to Dallas, I prayed and I said, God, if I'm supposed to be here in Dallas, then you're gonna show me that I'm supposed to be here, and it's gonna be clear. It's gonna be clear as day, and I'm gonna know for a fact that I'm supposed to move, right? So I came to Dallas. I took the class. Okay, now, like I said, this is where it really started getting like, wow, okay, like he really speaking. So okay, let me see. I'm trying to think of the first thing that happened. So the first thing that happened was, I think on day 2 of the class, we took a lunch break, right? So the class was a 3-day training. it was by Bellamy. If anybody wants to take the class, I can put the link down here in the video below. But it was a Bellamy hair extension class. We went on lunch break one day. I think it was the second day. We were sitting in my friend's truck and I got a phone call. So the phone call was from someone that is very close to me. She said, Diamond, where are you? And I said, I'm out of town taking a class or whatever. She said, well, I just had a vision of you packing your boxes and moving, so you need to go ahead and start preparing, you know, whatever that looks like for you, you need to prepare. So I was like, okay, like that. I'm like, that, like, okay, that was weird, you know. Now keep in mind, I had already asked God to show me if this is where I'm supposed to be. That was confirmation number one. So then I ended up booking a hotel room while I was out here because at the time my friend was trying to get situated with her living situation. So I didn't want to come and, you know, bombard and stay with her. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just give me a hotel room. So got the hotel room. The hotel room number was 615. 615 is my area code. I have a Nashville area code because me, my mom, my gram, my uncle, my cousin, we are all on a family plan, okay? So, yeah, my area code is 615. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's just a coincidence, okay? Yeah, like my room number 615. Weird, right? Okay. So then I was riding in Dallas and I saw a sign that said Stewart's Creek, okay? So the sign says Stewart's Creek. Y'all, Stewart's Creek is a place where my mom used to work, okay? Which I'm not giving out no more information on that, but I was like, wait a minute. Okay, so is my mom supposed to be here in Dallas as well? Which I still feel very strongly about that. She is not here yet, but I still feel very strongly about that, okay? All right. So let's keep going. So I'm like, all right, God, I hear you loud and clear. I get back home. I go back, you know, I take the class. I get back home. I'm doing the regular routine stuff, you know. Now keep in mind, like, this class was like April, May 2021. I'm doing the regular routine stuff. I'm like, all right. So God, I feel like this is you telling me, but I'm the type of person, like, he could tell me something, but you know how you just need like confirmation. Like, I'm that person, like, I need confirmation on top of confirmation because I need to know that I'm really hearing from you and that I'm not making this stuff up in my head. Like, okay, it's just a coincidence that this happened, you know. So I got home, y'all, and I'm still having these back and forth thoughts because I'm thinking, like, in my head, I'm like, how am I supposed to move to Dallas? You know, sometimes we be trying to figure out everything when he's just like, if I tell you to do it, then just trust me. And just take it step by step. Don't look at the bigger picture, because if you look at the bigger picture, sometimes it can be very overwhelming because you're thinking about, where am I going to stay? How am I going to survive? I'm a single mother. Like, I'm having all of these thoughts in my head. Like, he's telling me to do this, but I'm still fearful. I'm still feeling like I'm not sure if this is from you. Y'all, I kid you not, one day I was minding my own business. One of my, let me see how I met this. I met her in college, right? So I'll say one of my colleagues. Love her to death. Very sweet, genuine personality. You can just tell she's just an overall good person. Text me one day out the blue. She said, hey Dime, have you been thinking about moving somewhere? Because it's just been on my heart to tell you that if you have been thinking about it, to go ahead and do it, because it's gonna open up so many new opportunities for you. XYZ. Y'all, this girl, I hadn't talked to her in months. Like, she knew absolutely nothing about this trip, nothing about me even considering moving anywhere. She just texted me this out the blue. Like, the Holy Spirit led her to reach out to me just to give me that, like, yeah, like, that was me telling you to do this. So that's it, you know? So anywho, I just started feeling like it was just time to prepare, right? So months and months and months go on. So I started preparing. So I'm like, all right, like, I'm a little overwhelmed here in my city. And I had started feeling like it's time for me to go, because I kind of started feeling too big for the space, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know if you've ever been somewhere and you just feel like you've reached your capacity. I'm like, bro, I've done so much here in this city. Like, I just don't feel like I can go any further. It started feeling like a burden to even come up with new ideas. Like, just like this YouTube channel, like, I would never be able to produce this YouTube channel in my old environment. Like, I just could not get, I was so consumed with thoughts. It's like I was weighed down. And then where I come from, I love Hattiesburg. I absolutely love Hattiesburg. Will always be my home. But I just started feeling like this dark cloud. It's like, man, like, I'm not able to connect with people here anymore. Like, I'm feeling like I'm on a whole different wave. Like, you know, I'm getting invited places. I'm not wanting to show up, because I'm feeling like it's just the same old. I was literally craving something new. Okay, so to get back on the topic, I want to make sure that I'm not leaving out anything. Okay, so I got the text message from my friend. There was another confirmation. Okay, so I just started, like I said, I just started feeling like it was time to prepare. So what I started doing was I started eliminating stuff. So I had like a little side business. I sold the side business. Anything that I felt weighed me down, I just started releasing stuff, because I knew that in order to make room for this move, I couldn't have all that stuff there and then be trying to create a whole new life here. Like, that, it just wasn't gonna work. Okay, so I started releasing stuff. All right, so I shared this with a few people that are close to me, and I can't lie. I started doubting what he had told me again. It's kind of like, it was like a roller coaster, y'all. Like, I would feel so sure about me moving, and then I would tell somebody, and then they would be like, are you sure? How you gonna do this? How you gonna pay your bills? Like, are you sure that that's what he said? And I'm like, I know that that's what he said, but then that would plant a seed of doubt, and it would make me go backwards, right? So there had come a time where I was making space for the move, but then I started doubting him, and I started trying to add extra stuff to the plate. For instance, for those of you that know me, y'all know that I became a real estate agent, because that was something that I had wanted to do for a very long time, and I got the opportunity to do so, and I'm happy that I went through the process to show me that I really don't want to be a real estate agent. I thought that that's what I wanted, but when I got it, it was a burden, because it was not for that season. Okay. Another thing I did was I got pre-approved to buy a home. I had convinced myself that I was okay with staying there because other people were comfortable with me being there. So I was like, well, I already done built this 6-figure business here. I could just stay here. I can make it work. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to buy a house here. I can raise my daughter to this point, because I was getting a little backlash about me relocating and my daughter being under 2. Y'all, I was looking for houses. I could not find anything that I wanted. I'm talking about these nice houses that people would have loved to live in. And I'm like, I'm finally to this point to where I can afford to give me a nice crib. I can live in a nice neighborhood. Like, this is the American dream, right? No, I couldn't find nothing. And it's because, it's not that I couldn't find anything. Nothing sat right with my spirit, because God had already told me what to do, and I did not want to listen, okay? And I just woke up one day and I said, you know what? I'm not buying a house here. And I said, I'm not being a real estate agent anymore, because I don't really want to be a real estate agent. Matter of fact, I don't even like these people calling my phone that much, okay? I already have clients to deal with. I'm already doing hair. I have clients over here. I can't have clients over here and over there. I can't stop doing hair to go show a house. Like, that's just not my wave. But I was doing it because there was something that I've always wanted to do. And I'm one of those type of people, like, if it's something that once I really set my mind on it, like, I have to go through with it, okay? So yeah, I just woke up one day and I said, you know what? I'm not doing this. So I didn't do it. And my lease was actually up in February of this year, right? So my lease was up. So I was like, well, when my lease is up, I'm gonna move, right? So I still didn't feel prepared. So I ended up extending my lease like 2 months. And then we stayed with my God family for a little while, just until I was like, all right, bet. Like, but y'all, like, I'm saying all this to say that I had been released to go to Texas. He told me, like, okay, it's okay. And then he had to release me from everything that was happening in Hattiesburg, even though I still was not, oh my goodness, I still was just like, boy, I just can't believe this. I had to put a date on it. I was the one that had to put a date on it. I had to put a date on it, and I said, all right, the date is May 25th, and I am moving. And that's what I did. That's what I did. I'm gonna make a separate video, because I kind of want to get a little bit more detail as far as the preparation that I had to do in order to move, because of course, like, it wasn't just like it wasn't one of those things where it was like, oh, I'm just gonna up and move tomorrow. Like, no, it took some planning. And, you know, I'm just so grateful that God put everything in place. And I'm about to, let me see, we've been on here. Okay, yeah, we've been on here almost 30 minutes. So I just want to let you know that when it's your time, you will know that it's your time. For one, he's going to put that sense of urgency in your spirit. People on the outside may not be able to see that or feel that from you, but it's not for them to see, okay? It's for you, and it's for you to be obedient. So he's gonna put that sense of urgency. Then he's gonna send you confirmation, signs. Like he showed me. So it's like, I could really, this video would really be about 2 hours if I really just went into depth, because there were so many other things that he showed me, or he sent other people to tell me. just like one of my clients messaged me out the blue. She was like, hey hun, are you thinking about moving to a new state? Because I had a dream that you moved to a new state and you were so happy about moving. She had no idea that I was moving, but I think that God knew that it was time for me to go. Well, of course he knew it was time for me to go because he is the one that wanted me to move from the old territory to the new territory, okay? So he knew that I needed all of those signs and all of that confirmation, because I would have never been able to do this in my own will. And like I was telling my best friend who has been trying to get me to move here for 5 years, I said, bro, like 5 years ago, I would have been terrified of even just the traffic in Dallas. I would have been scared of everything, you know? So it's just a time for everything, and I'm so grateful to be here. I'm here in Dallas, Texas now, and I'm loving it, even though I'm still getting adjusted to everything. I just have a sense of peace because I know that this is where I'm supposed to be. So yeah, I hope that this has blessed you guys, and I'm sorry if I was rambling, but you know, I'm just reliving the past 2 years, and it's just been amazing. And I'm really trusting God with this journey, because like I said, who in their right mind gonna move with a 1-year-old? You know, like a 1-year-old. I'm out here trusting God. But he lined everything up. He had a place for me to stay. Like, I was able to come out here and set up my salon suite with my best friend. It's just kind of like, it's just been faith moves. It's been me literally just moving on faith and just trying to listen to him. And so I know that since he brought me here, he's gonna provide. So that gives me a sense of peace, and I can sleep at night knowing that it's all good. Like, it's all good, because he gonna show up, he gonna take care of you, and hey, it is what it is. So I'm hoping that this video blessed you. And like I said, I'm gonna do a part 2 and 3. It's gonna be more structured, because I feel like I was just, you know, kind of rambling out today, but I needed to get all of this out. If you guys like this video, let me know in the comment section. Like I said, I'm gonna leave a few links below for y'all to check out, and I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a good day today.